Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Again, I'm Dr. Bill Reisig. I'm in the wonderful town of Ellijay, Georgia, foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in North Georgia. We've had a great week and a half, 2 weeks of these lectures, conferences every evening at the end of the day, and the purpose of these were to answer questions about COVID-19, and I think we've been real successful about answering those. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of conjecture. There's a lot of half-truths, and I just want to give you the facts. I just want to let you know what I know that is factual, and clear up some sort of any misconceptions. So if you have any questions, feel free to send them to me, and I'll continue to address them. What I'd like to do today, before I go on to anything new tomorrow, what I'd like to do today is just go full circle and just comment on the key points we made over the last week and a half about COVID-19. COVID-19 is a virus. COVID-19 stands for a coronavirus disease, 2019, because it was discovered in 2019. Coronavirus is called coronavirus. Corona means crown, and the virus with the glycoprotein, protein for easier terminology, spikes on it, makes it look like it has a crown on it. So therefore, and crown is the description of it, and that's why it's called corona. The protein spikes help scientists, researchers discover antibodies against it, and possibly drugs to fight it. Below the spikes, the protein spikes, is a membrane or a shell or a coating, a soft shell that's made of fat. It's made from fat. And we talked about earlier, another word for fat is grease. And how do you get rid of grease? You get rid of grease by soap. Soap and water kills this virus. That's why we're promoting, a lot of hand washing. 20 seconds, warm soap and water, 20 seconds, rinse your hands. Do it. I recommend doing it a second time just to really make sure it's killed. Take a shower a couple times a day with soap. Lather, rinse, repeat. Wash yourself twice in the shower. Soap kills COVID. Soap destroys grease. Grease is the coating of the COVID-19 virus. You use soap, you kill the virus. There are medications being tested out there. There are probably about 40 right now in the research labs being tested to fight COVID-19. As of today, as of this recording, there are no medications to treat COVID-19. In fact, unfortunately, one of those medications, Plaquenil, possibly has been shown to cause potentially fatal abnormal heart rhythms in people when taking it. So it'd be a terrible idea to give that medication to millions of people around the world to help treat COVID-19, because we would have a lot of people who are dying of heart abnormalities because of that medicine. As far as prevention goes, there's no vaccine yet. Right? There are about 90 vaccines under investigation right now, trials, or not trials yet, but investigations and development. Right now, the Oxford University has one that seems to be ready for clinical trials and may be ready for us as early as September. That is possible, not absolute. But again, Oxford University seems to be leading the way as far as a vaccine goes for us. Prevention is still the best way to not get COVID-19 by sheltering in place. Sheltering in place is still the only way to not get this. If you're not around someone with COVID-19, you can't get COVID-19. almost half the population who has COVID-19, or half the population of people with COVID-19, don't know they have it. And if they don't know they have it and they don't wear a mask and they go in public, they're going to spread it around. And the insidious nature of this virus is that it will go from person to person to person. When a healthy, relatively healthy person gets it, in general, they will not get ill, but they'll keep spreading it. And once again, the insidious nature of this virus is that it'll spread from healthy person to healthy person to healthy person and stay in their system for at least 2 weeks. Their immune system is trying to kill it off, but in the meantime, this virus then leaves them by you breathing, coughing, sneezing, talking, and gets onto somebody else. And then that person sends it to somebody else. Eventually, this virus gets to people who have certain risk factors. We talked about risk factors in the last 2 videos. And when it gets to somebody with those risk factors, that person is at a risk of serious disease from COVID-19. And that serious disease may lead to death, and has in many cases. COVID-19 spreads from healthy person to healthy person to healthy person, not causing disease until it gets to a person who is susceptible to the disease, where they end up with lung disease or other things and potentially die. Who's at risk for COVID-19? Everyone's at risk for COVID-19. Who's at risk for serious disease from COVID-19? Again, all those people with risk factors that we talked about yesterday and Friday. Many of those risk factors at this point are not reversible. If you already have severe heart disease right now, there may be some medications you could take and exercise, but right now if you have it, it's hard to reverse it or impossible to reverse it overnight. The things that are reversible, the risk factors that are reversible, number one, smoking. COVID kills smokers, So if you smoke, stop smoking. And if you need help with that, contact your physician or contact me. I'll help you. If you're obese, again, we talked about that. A BMI over 30. If you don't have to worry about the math on the BMI. Men, if you took a tape measure, went around the love handles or around the belly button and took a waist measurement, and it's 30 inches or greater, that means you're obese. Women, 40 inches or greater. Women, 35 inches or greater indicates obesity. And if you're obese, decrease portion size. Start an exercise program. If you're going to start an exercise program, I need to let you know to contact your physician prior to that. But just cut calories down. So, putting it all together, virus, no treatment, no vaccine, sheltering in place. If you're not sheltering in place, social distancing with a mask or facial covering helps protect you. All governments around the world, all state governments, even county municipalities in the United States have all stepped in and had either recommendations or requirements for us. As individuals, it's important to listen to those politicians, to those rules and regulations. But the reality is, if we think about it, this is not difficult to understand, and you get this, and I know you get this, and that is that if up to 50% of the population that have COVID-19 are just carriers, it would be better if you did not have access to anyone else. But if you can't shelter in place, stay at home, wear a mask. If you wear a mask, you're less likely going to spread it to somebody, and they're less likely to get sick and die. if you know, do we need a politician to tell us that? No. Do we need you to watch the news? Do we need to watch the news consistently to know that? No, we don't. We just need to think about it and know that if you are sheltering in place, you can't spread the virus, nor can you catch it. And if you wear a facial covering and you go out, you're less likely going to spread it to anybody. Restrictions are being lifted. The number of cases is likely going to go up, which means that it's more important for you to shelter in place. It's more important to wear facial coverings. One of the side effects to sheltering in place and this disease has been depression and anxiety. It's been at very high levels now. I've seen it in my practice. We talked about that yesterday. I've been asked what I do to deal with it. I'm not sheltering in place per se. I'm in a doctor's office. I'm the physician here, as you know. But we wear masks all day long. We keep appropriate distancing, at least 6 feet. If anything, we're 15 feet apart. But what I do is I get up at the same time in the morning every day. I go to bed at the same time every night. I make sure I get plenty of rest. I help others. That's a big help to me. I eat healthy. I try to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I stay away from takeout food, fast food, things like that. I exercise actually at least once a day. There's times I'll go home for lunch, run on the treadmill another 16 minutes, because I practice +1. Instead of a 15-minute run, I do a 16-minute run. Or instead of a 30-minute run, I do a 31-minute run. I pray a lot. Prayer has gotten me through this. Prayer helps me help you. And I try not to listen to the news all the time. I don't focus on numbers as much as the media promotes those numbers. I focus on what I need to do today to help myself, to help my family, to help my patients, to help my staff. I get through the day by doing simple things. You know, other than being a physician, I have a vegetable garden at home that I tend to. I have, just to share this with you, I have dogs, cats, I have chickens that need to be taken care of. I focus on taking care of my family and my small collection of livestock, my gardens, and prayer. When I put those things together, along with eating healthy, getting to bed at a reasonable time, getting up at a reasonable time, you know, it fills my day. I'm aware of the news, but I don't allow myself to watch the news all the time. I try not to, I try not to let it overwhelm my life, because it could, and it will. And I think that's what's causing a lot of anxiety with people. Love your family. Love your God. Try to do the simple things well in life. Read a good book. Sing, dance, exercise. And we'll get through this. We'll get through this together by staying apart. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. I look forward to discussing new things tomorrow. I thought it was important for me to take all those last couple weeks of videos and put it all together in this. and I hope it all makes sense. We're in this together. I'm here to help. My office is here to help. My staff is incredible. We're here for you, and we'll continue to be here for you. We care what we do, and we're not going to stop. Happy Tuesday night, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.